Hi, welcome to Smart Home Automations. Now, this is my first video I've ever done, so I'm sure I'm going to fumble my way through this, but I'll try my best. So just to explain, on this video, what we're going to do is actually alter a script or rewrite a script for some hallway lights. This one actually isn't for my house. It's for some tapo lights, so it's a simple setup. It's just one motion sensor and one tapo light. I prefer to script everything through Google Home because it doesn't matter what device you have or where you haven't got to go through different apps. You just go straight to Google Home. They also work with each other doing it this way, and the script editor you can just do way more with it. If you don't know how to use script editor or to get it on your phone, I will do a video showing how to do that, but for now I'm just going to show you how to change the script. So this one is for the hallway. Hall lights, we just got within that, we've got two mini scripts, so one called off and, believe it or not, one called on. So simple thing is, on the off one, what it's saying is if it doesn't detect motion for 30 seconds on the hall motion sensor, then the action is to turn off, so false, turn off the light. And then obviously on the on one, when it does detect motion on the hallway sensor, only between sunset and sunrise, so when it's dark, then the light will just simply turn on. So whatever colour the light, or whatever colour or brightness the light is set at, it will just turn on and then turn off. They want to change it, so what they want is, during the day, they want it to come on bright white, and not during the day, during the evening. So after sunset and before 10 o'clock, they want it to come on bright white. After 10 o'clock and until the sun comes up, at night time, so basically night time, they want the lights to come on blue 40%. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave this script as it is for now, so messing with it, and we're just going to rewrite a new one and then delete this one once we're done. So start a new script, and I'm just going to call it, the other one was called hall lights, so I'm going to call this hallway lights. Hopefully I remember the difference. Now, some people would like to do one script each time, if you know what I mean. So they literally do starter, action, save that, and then do another one. I like to keep everything for one room in one script. You might want everything for one house in one script, but I do it by rooms, however you want to do it. So if you just want to do one starter, one finish, then that's fine. But if you want to do multiple, you have to add a name in there. So directly under automations, you need to write this little tag. So this tag means there's going to be multiple. And then you just write name. And we're going to call it on at evening. So now I think we have to bump these forward a bit. That's right. Let's do that. So because we added a name in, it pushes everything over to the left by one. Yeah. So the important thing, everything lines up. That's the only thing we use in the script editor. Is like you put something in the wrong place, it just won't like it. So if you see here now, it lets me add something. But if it was over there. Oh, it didn't a second ago. They're just funny. Yeah, keep everything in line and then it should be fine. So what we're doing is, so the lights are turning on at the evening time. So motion state. So the motion's true, so it detects motion. False means obviously when it doesn't detect motion. It's the hallway motion sensor. And now the condition is, the only condition here is the time one. You can do multiple conditions, which we'll probably do later. So time between. So it's before. So this is before 10 o'clock, wasn't it? So and after sunset. So basically, when it gets dark, these lights turn on. Okay, and so there's a few things we need to do here then. So first of all, we could just turn the light on, but to be honest, if we just do brightness absolute. So that's the percentage at which the light's going to turn on. So it's going to turn on 100%, which means we don't need to tell it to turn on separately, because that will turn it on. We need to tell it which one it is. So it's the hall lights. It's the downstairs one thereafter. So that's that. So 100%. Also, we need to make sure it comes on the right colour. So we could actually. There's two ways of doing this. So actually, no, we're going to add the fade in there. So basically, in the day, they're going to start fading out. So automatically, that would change it to white, and depending on where you catch the light will depend on what colour it is. So let me explain. So the light turns on, let's say it's white, and as it starts dimming down, it goes like a more yellowy, orangey colour. And then if it starts to turn 100%, it will keep that colour but being 100%. Makes it more interesting because the colours change. We could either do it two ways. We could just say, if we wanted the light to turn on a certain colour, I'll be honest, I always forgot to do this. It's colour absolute. It's colour, and I think it's name. And then put white. I think that's correct. And then which device? Yeah, that's correct. So you can do it that way. That means the light will always turn on white. I'm going to do it the other way. So again, even if the light turns on purple, because it might remember the settings from the evening, even if it turns on purple, when it starts fading, it'll automatically go white. As it fades down, it'll be like a yellowy colour. That will then go to 100%. So it'll change the hue each time. They might not like it that way, but we'll find out. So next thing, that's the light on then. What we'd do, so it's a key, when you put a new name in, it's important to keep it in line. So if you look at where name is, look, just follow the cursor down. It's little things like this, it took me ages to realise it just doesn't like anything if you put it out of line. So name, lights off, evening. So I'm terrible at it. I don't know what it is. As soon as I start a video, I can't spell anything. Start. Oh my god. Starters. It just gets worse. Then type. I could just copy it from the line above. So it's type, isn't it? Type. So it's motion state again. This time it's false. And it is the. Just want to make sure that's the right one. Yeah. Now the only thing is, when you say false, you really want to add some time into that, because otherwise it will just, as soon as it doesn't see motion, it will turn off. It doesn't make this obvious on Google Scripts, but you can add an extra line, put the word for and the colon, and then you can add time in it. Again, it doesn't make it clear. So we just want, again, 30 seconds. Just literally delete. Okay. Now we want a different on-off depending on the time. So what I'm actually going to do, because it literally coincides with this. So if I just copy this condition, copy, put it in the same line as started. Okay, same again. And the actions also have to be in the same line as the conditions. Actions. Type. And now we're going to use the sleep command. So sleep. And what it does, it tells you here that the minimum time you can do on sleep is 5 minutes. The maximum is an hour. So we're going to go for the minimum, which is 5 minutes. And the device, again, would you believe it? All lights. Okay. So basically, after, I just realised I've done that. I've done that before 10, after sunset. I thought I got that mixed up there. If it doesn't see motion for 30 seconds, the lights are going to start fading out for 5 minutes, and then depending on when you walk back in again, it will just go back up to 100%. And like I said, that could be anywhere between bright whites and like a orangey yellow colour. So that's the evening time. We now need to do actual night time. So what I'm going to do, just to make it a little bit faster, we're going to copy everything from the name on the first one. So this is the one where it turns on during the evening. I'm going to copy this. And we're going to put it, obviously you have to put it in line with the name one. I think that was there, wasn't it? Double check. Yeah, just make sure it's in line, because it just throws a wobbly if it's not. So I've copied the first one, and now we're gonna change the name of it, because we can't have them both called the same thing. And it's literally night time. Okay. So again, if it detects motion, that bit's the same. The time needs to change. So this time it's after. This needs to delete that. It's going to be after 10, but before sunrise. And this time it's not going to turn the light on 100%. They asked for 40%, but this time we need to hard code the colour, because it's not going to change. So we will use the type colour. So press enter, name, and just blue. Okay. Let's double check that's right. So 40%, and the light will be blue. The last thing we need to do now is an off at night. So we're not going to do the fade at night time, because again, that's going to make it go white and then dim down to yellow orange, which is just disturbing at night time. The idea of night time is obviously you get up and there's light so you can see, but with a blue light, hopefully it doesn't wake you up too much so you can go back to sleep. So let's just find the other one. So lights off evening. I'm also going to copy this one and just amend it, because it's just faster than rewriting the whole thing again. And again, we need to find where the name is, because I never remember. So it's there, it's that line there. Follow it all the way down. I did copy the name, didn't I hope. Yeah, lights off evening, I'll call it, yeah. So let's put a bit of space in between that. Lights off nights. So false for 30 seconds, and it will literally just be off. So false, because that means the light's off, and again, obviously, hallway light. Now, obviously, we need to see the time. So the time is. Delete that. Time is 10 o'clock. So it's after 10. And now, technically, it should be before sunrise. But what I'm going to do is use the sunrise offset. I'll explain why. So sunrise means obviously when sunrise happens. Sunrise offset means sunrise plus a bit of extra time, or minus extra time if you wanted to. So again, the reason for this is I'm just going to add an extra 10 minutes in. Now the reason for this is because imagine, it's unlikely to happen, but imagine someone walks into the hallway, the lights turn on 10 seconds before sunrise. What's going to happen is they'll turn on, and of course when it comes to turning off, the script's going to see that it's gone past sunrise now, so it's not going to work. So I'm just going to add an extra 10 minutes in, so that if that did happen, they would still turn off. I mean, the other ways I could technically do it all the way until sunset, but this way works as well. So that covers it. Now let's double check I haven't made any mistakes. So the lights off night time. So no motion for 30 seconds on the hallway motion sensor. Times between after 10 o'clock until sunrise, and an extra 10 minutes. And then that just turns the light directly off. There's no fade out. So that's everything now. That hopefully works. Let's validate it, see if there's any mistakes. No errors found, so that's great. Switch it off. Save that then. And then what we need to do now is go to the hall light. That's it. You could just deactivate it, but I'm fairly confident it's going to work, so let's just delete it. Okay, great. So that should be everything you need to do. Obviously, you've got to go test it now, but I can't test it yet until the sun sets, because no lights will turn on at the moment. So let's see how it goes.